Hello everyone. Today I am going to tell you how to use Linq to SQL classes by three-tier architecture. So basically, before starting, I am going to tell you what is three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture is basically used for reduce coupling in our code and reduce redundancy of repetition of data and increase reusability of our code. So before starting, I am going to start here. Click on File, New, Project, and select a web application, ASP.NET web application, and I'm going to rename it 3 tier and click on OK. Selecting a empty template and web form application. So let's discuss about our database, and I'm getting a dummy DB with one table student, and it says column ID, name, address, state, and city. So I'm going to create a add a new web page here. Add new item, web form, default .aspx page. Add it. Okay, before starting 3 tier architecture, I'm going to tell you I'm going to add 3 layers here. One layer is already added here, 3 tier, and second layer is business layer, and one another layer is data layer. So my web application will communicate with a business layer, and business layer will communicate directly with a data layer. My view layer is not directly communicate with a database layer. So I'm going to add here a data layer. Add new project. Click on class library, Windows, and select class library and rename it to data layer. I'm going to delete this one. Now I'm going to add a dbml file here which will communicate with the database. Select on data, link to SQL classes, and 3 I will remove dummy db. Now add it. All the references are added now, and this is my dbml file. Now open your server explorer and add a new connection here. Write here server name. I'm going to use Windows authentication. Now I'm going to use here dummy database, dummy db. Select dummy db, then test connection. Succeeded, and proceed further. Now I'm going to drag and drop a table student in a dbml file. Yes. Now I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to add one more layer, entity layer. Add new project, class library, entity layer. Yes, it is added now, and I'm going to delete this one class. Now I'm going to add another class here. Add new item, class user.cs class. Add it. Now I'm going to add properties in user class and make it public. The properties are user ID, name, address, and city. So that's it. The user class is created now. It is an entity class, and now I'm going to add one more layer, a business layer. New project. Select a class library. Click on OK. Delete this one. Now I'm going to add a reference of entity layer and data layer in business layer. Add reference, entity layer and data layer. Click on OK. Now I'm going to another service layer, service user service class, which will communicate with a database. User service class. I'm going to make it public and adding a method inside it. Public list user adding a namespace here, business layer, adding a namespace of entity layer and data layer. Going to make it a static method, static list user get all user. Get all users. Now type here list user r type equal to null. Now we are using, I'm going to add here context file. So dummy db context db equal to new dummy db context. Close it. I'm getting error here. Okay, the reference of Linq is not added here. Mm, the error is resolved. Now proceed further. Type here r type is equal to, I'm writing here a link statement u in db dot tbl students select new users. Now user id is equal to u dot id, name equal to u dot name, comma, address equal to u dot address, city equal to u dot city. Dot to list. Okay, now I'm going to return R type here. Yes, the method is created now. This method is return list of all users. Now came back to web application and add a reference of business layer and entity layer in web application. Select solution and select a data layer, select a business layer and entity layer and click on OK. Now go to default.aspx page and I'm going to add here a grid view control to data and the grid view control. That's the here is the grid view control. I'm going to drag and drop here. I'm going to CS file and I'm going to bind the grid view using business layer, using entity layer, adding the namespace here and grid view 1 dot data source is equal to. Now I'm going to call the service class user service dot get all users 1 dot data bind. The data is bind now. One more thing I have to do, that I have to add a connection string in web config file. So open your data layer and connection string already here, right? Open your app config file and copy the connection string from here and paste it on in web config file. That's it. Now I'm going to set 3tier as a startup project and I'm going to run it. Let's see what happens. Yes, the data is now here shown here. It's similar to it is stored in database, and so as you can see that my backend code is very clean. I'm just calling here the business layer class and I'm getting here all the data. I haven't write here connection and everything. So my web application will communicating with a business layer and business layer will communicating with a data layer. I haven't added reference of a data layer here. So that is a glimpse of 3-tier architecture. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.